they're a mobile team. They go from place to place to place, and that just cuts it down.
No surprise to see the Lissandra ban coming out from IM either. It is Tank's most played champion.
Yeah, with that said, of course, you don't want to have Vlad. Like, Vlad is incredibly strong at the moment.
Certainly is, and with all these mage and support bans come out, you have to think there's going to be a Rise ban that should come out from IMA. Nope, they're going for the Rek'Sai instead, so showing Snake they're not afraid for them to pick up the Rise first. And I was about to say, they did go for that Rise ban, means a lot of junglers will be left open, which they still are, with a very interesting draft phase coming out so far.
Yeah, and Italy is open, Gragas and Graves is open. There's no real priority in terms of that, so I'm actually surprised. I think the Rise will come through. Braum also has the equal priority, so we'll see what they end up picking up.
Even yesterday, we saw some interesting pick and bans coming up. We saw Vladimir escape all the way through the last pick to one of the picks and bans of yesterday's game, but Snake actually prioritized Sivir as their AD carry of choice.
Yeah.
Martin doesn't play too much Sivir, but on the flip side, Jin Zhao, that's his most played champion, so definitely a denial pick coming out from Snake.
Yeah, Sivir, it doesn't give away much at the same time, so it does give them the ability to counter pick something, and of course they get the Shen and the Hecarim.
Yeah, Shen and Hecarim being locked in, a very strong jungler, which we've seen a lot more play in the LPL. Actually, has been played very heavily as one of the first few picked up junglers in the LPL, not so much throughout the rest of the regions. Shen is becoming a little bit more popular as well, has that massive global presence.
Yeah, so of course, since we see the mobility being taken away from them with the Twisted Fate, the LeBlanc, and the Bard, I'm not surprised that the Shen has been given to them, because of course they do want to be proactive, they do want to get those map plays out, so I do like the Shen from them.
Well, let's see how Amazing Day is able to use that Shen up the top lane. Well, it should be a top lane Shen. We never know in the LPL as things can fly across the map over a couple of different games. As Gragas is going to be the lock-in of choice coming out from Snake, as well as that Braum support being picked up for Road.
Yeah, I do like the Gragas pickup, especially if you're going to be getting the Braum. Gragas has been coming out quite a bit, because if you do want to take the Braum, you don't really have much hard engage aspects. Now, Rek'Sai has been banned out, right? But if the Rek'Sai was up, I would still favor the Gragas.
I'm really interested to see what Road's going to be playing coming into this game, because he's played a lot of Braum, he's played a lot of Bard, but not too many other champions. He's played a couple of one-off champions.
Yeah, I mean, last set we saw him on Trundle. I didn't like that at all, because he has to be the playmaker on that team, I believe. Unless if they want to change their style.
What's his first game of Trundle? So also be taking a note from Game Talent's book, flexing that one, throwing it down to the bottom lane when they don't want Amazing Jane to play the champion. For now, though, they're going to be locking in Malzahar for Athena. He's played this champion once before, and they're going to pick up Ashe for Jin Zhao.
Yeah, we've seen quite a bit of Malzahar. I think it came from LCK initially. It's a straight-up blind pick. They're not afraid of it, especially with the Ashe. Now, this is a really strong playmaking team. You lock them down with Malzahar, and you can follow up with Ashe, ulti, Hecarim ulti. This is a lot of skirmish level 6 fight that I like to see from IMA. So they're not changing their style. They're just changing the champions to incorporate it.
It's something we saw Invictus Gaming throw at Vici yesterday. The exact same team comp. The Ashe, Hecarim, Malzahar. Throw every single ultimate into the mid lane. Try and kill someone right off the bat. Easy Hearing didn't have a very good time there, but they were able to capitalize on the team composition and play around that. Vici still picked up the win. Still waiting to see what Snake pick up as their next two picks.
Funny thing is, they haven't shown their support. So the support's likely to be their last pick, but it's also something that we should remember that Shen historically has been a flex between support and top. So yeah, it can go to either one.
Always has that possibility. We'll have to see what I may decide to pick up next, as Azir and Gangplank are going to be the two final picks for Snake.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense. Give Gangplank to Flandre. He likes to play a lot, like, damage, playmaking champions. Now, the only play he's going to be getting, of course, is his ulti to help out the fights. It's a good counter matchup to the Shen top, so they do expect that. Let's see if that gets punished. I do think that it's going to be a Shen top, unless any surprises come through.
I mean, you look at the type of champions Flandre plays: Irelia, Rumble, Fiora, Fizz. The only true blue tanks he really plays is the Shen and the Maokai occasionally. So it's no surprise to see him on another very carry-oriented champion, being Gangplank, which he has not played so far this split. And it's going to be an Alistar being locked in for Road to complement Jin's Ashe.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that so far it looks like they have good lanes. Both compositions, like Alistair just pretty much feeds into the high-impact, aggressive level 6 fights that we're going to be seeing. While Snake has a little bit more movement, a little bit more stalling. They have a lot of wave clear coming out of Tank and Martin, Sivir and what was the name of that? The Emperor Shurima.
Azir?
Yeah,
Is that the
Azir.
one?
You know,
Yep, we got him.
names can
some
be
time.
difficult sometimes.
Oh, that I know.
But yeah, they have a lot of wave clear. They should be able to stall quite a bit for their power spike, but generally this is strong team fighting that I see from both teams.
Let's see what they can, because like you said, Snake, lots of wave here, lots of kite potential coming out from them. IM, every single champion on their lineup has some form of hard crowd control, if not multiple forms of hard crowd control.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult with Snake if they find him in a close quarter.
Yeah, the only difficult portion is I do think that they lack a bit of damage, right? Malzahar, not really much of a damage type. Ashe is going to be able to, like, I think primarily they have a lot of pick. Perhaps if Hecarim does get ahead, then yeah.
Well, let's see if they can use that pick potential as we head into game number 1 between Snake and IM. We loaded onto Summoner's Rift for game number 1 between Snake and IM. And thank you very much, observers, for showing us it's going to be a mountain dragon that spawns here today.
Oh, there we go. Feel like we haven't had that feature for a while. Maybe it's just come up. I'm not sure.
We get to see, normally they show us the first dragon to spawn at the start of the series, and afterwards, like, yeah, they don't need that anymore.
Yeah, it does impact lane swaps quite a bit, so it's nice to see where we're going for this one.
And speaking of lane swaps, we have to see if either team decides to go for those early lane swaps. For now, though, still very early into the match, of course, so we won't be able to spot out anything too soon. So you take a look at the Keystone Masteries that come out from both Snake and IM. Nothing too surprising coming out. Thunderlord's on Gangplank, if anything.
I feel like, of course, the top lane's fairly good for Flandre, right? So perhaps they want a lane swap out of that. Braum is pretty good into Alistar. I think, yeah, I would rather IM looks to lane swap this game. But it looks like they will get matched.
Well, IM do initiate the lane swap. They have not been spotted out by any wards. Neither have Snake, so both will be lane swapping in towards the top side of the map. Pings are coming out from IM to move towards, and we will finally get spotted out by Snake. So now this lane swap's coming out from IM.
This is really smart from Snake. Snake has called this out entirely. And so, of course, they're going to be looking to... Oh, actually, looks they back away. Pretty smart. Usually you'd want to walk all the way to the Wolf camp to check out, but they didn't go deep at all. So that's really good from the IM roster here.
Smart from both teams, so it does look like Snake are going into standard lane, so to speak, or Australian lanes at the moment, as everything's just upside down.
As we look into the mid lane, Azir will have the initial push. Malzahar will look to just pretty much trade out in the lane, so there's no surprise there.
Let's keep track and see what's going to happen in that mid lane for now, though. Jay-Z and Martin up on the top side of the map against Road and Jinjiao.
Yeah.
Brom already pushing up rather early.
Sivir Braum will always push in. So that's going to be the difficulty of the early laning phase for IM, because, of course, Azir is going to be shoving Malzahar in up until a certain point. And then, of course, Sivir Braum, that's just going to be a shoving lane as well. So, honestly, Sofm has a lot of freedom. He does get caught out in this, but he should be able to pretty much walk in whenever he pleases to get some wards down.
Let's see what he can do on this Gragas. As like you said, was spotting up with the ward that was previously placed down by IMA's bottom lane. Avoidance is now working on his own red buff, so both junglers taking their buffs to start the game off. Smite even coming out from Avoidance, getting a little bit of health back from that. Yeah. As Snake, still on the top side of the map, are still pushing rather aggressive towards the Ashe and Alistar lane.
So Gragas is also able to get the Scuttle Crab towards top side, so right now Sivir Braum should be safe. But they're actually just getting in a lot of wards. This is really nice from them. Yep. So they should be able to catch out if Hecarim tries to do any cheeky look for top lane. And even if he tries to take these Krugs, so look, he gets spotted out completely. Yep,
one ward on towards his Krugs, one ward towards the entrance of the Tri-Rush, and also the Scuttle Crab that was taken down by Sofm to spot out all the vision across that river, so don't know exactly where Voidless is on the top side of the map. Meanwhile, Athena in the mid lane, he's getting poked out by these soldiers, not having a great time so far.
Yeah, so laning phase right now is looking really good for Snake, and that's great for them because IM, of course, they just want to get to their level 6 power spike. Like, they want to get to the point in which they can be looking for these plays, but what happens if they get picked off too early, right? So they're just getting shoved in, harassed. Will they even be able to set up those plays?
Even more vision control coming out from Sofm, going deep in towards a Voidless' jungle, putting a deep ward down as well. Spots out the Hecarim. Looks like he wanted to go for the Krugs, but just hits it with a barrel. Decides to back out away from that jungle.
Yeah, he just pushes a Voidless out. Now, of course, a Voidless is going to come back in there, but top lane.
Top side of the map, Martin actually taking a lot of damage. Throws the boomerang back around, will be okay. Was forced to use the heal though and unengage. Road also uses his exhaust.
Yeah, so that was just a trade. You don't really get anything out of it. They are forced to back, though, so of course, Ashe and Alistair will be able to just shove out, go back. It's going to be good. You know, they get the CS elite in that aspect.
And Martin and Jay-Z do decide to head straight back towards the top side of the map, so no funky swaps coming out just yet. As Flandre and Amazing J are up in a 1-on-1 matchup here. Flandre already running pretty low in terms of mana, as he does get that keg down, gets a little bit of damage on towards the Shen. Amazing J already trying to push in towards the turret. Meanwhile, Tank has to be very careful as Road flashes in for the headbutt pulverized combo, but a good streamer shuffle from Tank gets him to safety.
Yeah, that was incredible from Tank. That was really good. They wanted to be able to make that play because they were given that opportunity with topside backing early. Like, Sivir was really harassed. She had to back, so Alistair had the opportunity to be able to make that roam. That was great from Road, but a really good reaction from Tank.
Now it really feels though the tides have turned in this mid lane, as Athena does have a little bit of extra mana compared to Tank, who was pretty low on mana after that combo, as well as health. As this is interesting, Sofm and Jay-Z waiting for a Voidless towards his Krug camp. Jay-Z dashes forward, is going to be able to get custom blows down. Jin Jiao flashes for the heal. Headbutt pulverize comes out from Road to lock both of them down. Sofm has to flash and jump away, but they're going to be met by Athena. Puts the Voidlings down. They're auto-attacking Sofm. Malefic Vision is not going to be enough. One more auto-attack will be though, as Athena picks up first blood.
That was incredible. You can't just expect to basically bully them all out. But here comes Ali.
He's looking for it. Road will get the pulverize on towards Jay-Z. Knocks him in towards a wild Hecarim. As Amazing Jay-Z even up on the top side of the map. Gets the taunt down. IM pick up 2 very early kills.
Yeah, you can't bully IM. You can't do it. That was a really good look from Snake to pretty much continue to harass Hecarim. One of Hecarim's weakness in the jungle is that he can be invaded and he can be skirmished. He's going to be pretty low once you invade. But it looks like Ali's going to be helping Athena out here.
He does. Moves in towards this mid lane. Looks like he just want to help him push out. And, you know, that kind of goes back to what we were talking about, Raz. Snake, they have Sofm, and that looked a little bit better from him, you know, invading with Jay-Z, so working with his team a little bit more to do that. But once again, the collapse from IM was just phenomenal to stop that aggression.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, right? IM can collapse. If they ever notice that you walk a little bit too far past that line, that they'll collapse on you. They'll get you. So that was a really good look from Snake, first of all. But they should have pushed in waves before they look for it.
Let's see if they're going to continue with this aggression, as Sofm is already in towards the blue buff on the side of IM. Going to try to clear out a pink ward anyway. Road's down here too, so is Jay-Z, so it seems like the supports are moving down towards the bottom side of the map as well. Sofm really wants this, but it seems like IM once again able to stop him from getting in towards this pit. He's going back in, trying to get the steal. It will be smited away by a Voidless. Road now going to get jumped on. There's the Stand United on top of the Alistar. Sofm getting locked down by the ultimate coming out from Athena. Gets the first kill in the fight. Enchanter Crystal Arrow will land on towards Braum as well, as they're chasing down Tank. It's already a 3-for-1, but they're not done just yet. They're still looking for more. Martin and Flandre have to run away, and another fantastic collapse coming out from IM.
Collapse after collapse. It is incredible. Gangplank didn't even have ulti for that because I don't even know where he used it, right? It felt wasted. So now that they went in for that, Sivir didn't even fully push out bottom lane, so she couldn't join in on time. Of course, if you don't have your members, if you don't have the number, you can get collapsed.
And it's the same criticism that we had for Snake in their last match against RNG. Can they change their playstyle? Seems like that's going to be a no again, as Sofm goes for an invade, gets collapsed upon. Okay, I'm going to go do it again and see what happens. Gets collapsed upon again. I mean, it's not working out for Snake.
I can't fault them. That was a good look if you have the proper setup, but that's been their problem from the very beginning. They don't get the setup, and they can get punished. So, they can keep doing this, right? It's not too late, but you need to have pushed in waves. You have Sivir, you have Azir. Use them.
Well, IM now, they've taken advantage of that, given themselves a nice 2,000 gold lead very early into the game against Snake. It's Amazing J now looking to try and clear out his own red buff. Sofm is still in this jungle. Gets spotted out by a ward. Puts a ward down himself. We'll see that red buff be taken before his eyes.
Yeah, it looks like after all that entire fiasco, we've just gone back to a standard lane swap.
Snake will eventually take down the top lane outer turret with 4 members pushing strong on the top side of the map. Meanwhile, IM, they only have the Alistar and the Ashe pushing on the bottom side of the map, but should be able to take down the bottom lane outer turret shortly.
Yeah, I'm glad they defended that. They probably need more numbers for that. I mean, you can't just defend with 2 people, but that's fine. So they do end up getting the tower. Unfortunately, they got completely pushed in on their inner tower. So if they do want to swap out and try and get that inner and that outer top tower, then it'll be a little bit difficult for them.
Good freeze coming out from IM. They're down on the bottom side of the map. A majority of the minions were still there for Snakes, and I'll push back quite nicely towards Jinjiao and Rhodes turret. As Snake is able to take his blue buff from Sofm, donated over towards the mid lane. Athena still pushing very strong in this mid lane onto his tank's turret. He has to be very careful with this wave clear.
So there we go. That's the Malzahar for you. That shove is incredible. Like once he gets his Voidlings, like his army of Voidlings to pretty much pressure you, then Azir is going to be just pretty much at his tower or just like contesting the wave consistently.
As Jay-Z has to be very careful. There's 2 members of IM in that brush. Rogue goes for another combo straight in towards the Ashe Arrow of Voidless, knocks him backward, flash forward from Jay-Z. A little bit awkward, but still gets taken down.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, GSO. Just Jay-Z, keep your flash. Keep your flash for next time. But
according to the UI, he still does, so not too sure what happened quite there.
Oh, now we just got a confusion.
Yeah, I thought he flashed as well.
Yeah, same. But yeah, it looks like the slow push from Shen is coming out on top side, so they're just trying to do as much as they can. He didn't even have TP at the time. He does have LT now, I believe so.
So IM, they've been playing the map pretty well so far. 3,000 gold advantage for themselves, and like we said earlier, Mountain Dragon was the first elemental Drake to spawn at this game. It's already been taken down by a Voidless, looking to pick up the first dragon for his team.
So yeah, we're starting to see the problem here, I think, because Snake is starting to... They're giving up this dragon completely. I think that's actually a fine trade, because they're starting to control this topside jungle and shove out. So, I mean, it's good for IMA. They do get the... Like, Earth Dragon does mean a lot, especially if you start stacking it. But pretty much the pressure and the wards that we're seeing coming out of Snake, I actually think it's a proper trade.
On top of that, Snake, they do see that Infernal Dragon's going to be the next one to spawn here, so we're probably going to see a fight between these 2 teams over that pit in about 6 minutes' time.
Yeah, it's a good question whether they're going to be going for the red buff specifically. I think they're just going to be slow pushing this top wave in and looking to threaten a possible dive.
Once again, Snake inside of IMA's jungle. They're still looking to be just as aggressive, as they will be moving towards the top side of the map. There are pings on towards the incoming members of Snake. Amazing J is still hidden inside of the top side brush.
This should be a good power play for them. Maybe they won't go for it. Maybe they'll decide to rotate mid. But Ashe is just freezing this bottom wave, or like just holding this wave entirely. So if they don't get anything off, then this is bad for them.
Certainly has. IMA, after the very delayed lane swap, you could say, coming out from Snake and IMA, once they took down that bottom lane outer turret, push back, and now Ashe has been free farming there for quite some time. Has picked up a nice 30 CS lead for himself over Martin on the Sivir, who's on the top side of the map.
Yeah, this is pretty awkward. Sivir is behind 30 CS. She's just like in a really long lane with Braum. At least she has Braum now, right? But I don't really agree with this. They're just trying to keep Shen down. That's fine. So because of course if you're going to be on the opposite side of the map, then you're giving Shen the opportunity to like get his ulti plays, his cross map plays. So why don't you just deal with Shen himself and shove him in? I guess the concept is fine.
And he's the only person that's really falling behind in terms of CS right now, about 20 behind Flandre, but still has a kill and 3 assists to his name, so pretty fine in terms of gold at the moment. Athena and Tank still be pushing up against each other in this mid lane.
Yeah, so I guess they do utilize the top lane, the jungle vision itself to make that push topside very, safe. So Snake has been actually doing a fairly good job at tying down IMA. So IMA can't, because of course we mentioned that they have that level 6 composition, that they'll utilize their ultis and pretty much they're controlling their own lane to set up a play. But they are just completely unable to do that.
Let's see if they can get a little bit more control of this, but for now, Voidless is looking for Tank as there's 3 members of IMA in this mid lane looking to try and take him down. Malefic Vision should be enough as Athena picks up that kill with the help of both Shen and Hecarim. Another big pick coming out from IMA.
Yeah, and just as I say that, they ease up on the pressure their dual lane backs away from top side. They push out their waves and they collapse mid. So at least IMA is able to get off exactly what they were looking to do from the beginning.
And still giving them a nice gold lead. They're approaching 4,000 gold up ahead of Snake this early into the game. It's not looking good for the Snake lineup.
Yeah, so actually I think it's pretty bad. I mean, the concept is fine, right? But now they have to be able to defend these level 6 fights now. But of course now they don't have their ulti, so maybe they can look for something now.
And Snake, it's going to be difficult to try and execute on their win conditions now up against IMA, falling this far behind very early on. And Sofm was not able to do anything early inside of a Voidless's jungle, who has been performing pretty well in this hack room so far. In fact, the entire IMA lineup has been looking really good in this game.
Yeah, they just need to be utilizing their game plan, right? Because, of course, they want to have GP shove in and control the Shen lane. Sending your dual lane topside, I like the idea, but that was the purpose of the Gangplank. And if they do set up a bot lane play, then you have the GP ulti to rain down, and A, you can set up your own plays, or B, you can actually defend and pretty much look to counter engage.
Snake on the flip side, they've been able to take a blue buff on over towards Tank. Was being heavily punished in this mid lane. Avoidus now looking to try and take down Rift Herald, probably going to give that one over towards Amazing J. Taunts over the wall, decides to help the Hecarim out.
So yeah, Ashe is holding up her lane fairly well, just safely CSing, and then of course Shen was able to push out his lane a bit, so they get a free Rift Herald for that.
That's actually given over towards a Voidless, so not opting to give it to the split pushing Shen.
Oh, okay, I'm fairly surprised by that, but either way, I think if you give it to Hecarim, then Hecarim, of course, he has a lot more powerful team fighting tool with his initial charge, so that's, I mean, he gets more damage off of that. I can't complain. I like that.
We can take a look and see what this Hecarim is actually building in terms of items. Barmy Cinder has come out looking towards the Cinderhulk upgrade, and it's holding on to a Phage. On the flip side, SOFM, he's gone for a Cinderhulk on Gragas. Normally we see the Runic Echoes being the jungle item of choice for most Gragas junglers.
Yeah, I mean, if he had a lead, then I would go for the AP item. But since, of course, A, he's in a deficit, and B, he's the only frontliner on that team other than Braum, who right now is also working on not much on economy, then I like the purchase.
You also see on the top side of the map, Flandre has gone for his Trinity Force up against the Sunfire Cape from Amazing J. Athena is pretty far ahead in this mid lane. Already has the Morello Nomicon as well as a measly large rod. Tank had to go for a bit of resistance with the Negatron Cloak and still sitting on his Stinger, not even a Nash's Tooth yet.
Yeah, so at this point it feels like everyone on the team is fairly far behind except for the Gangplank. The Gangplank is the only key here, so if they keep matching GP up against the Shen, maybe abuse that matchup, because of course he can lay down the damage in that matchup specifically, then, and just utilize his ultis properly, then I think they can stop the bleeding.
Well, let's see if Snake can, because for now, IMA are just not relenting any pressure at the moment. There's still 4,000 gold up ahead of Snake. Flandre trying to do what he can, farming up against Amazing J. Things have been a little bit quiet after the single pick they got into Tank in the mid lane. His flash is coming up shortly too. Does have his cleanse available as well.
Yeah, everybody has everyone on IMA has their ultis. Everybody has their flash as well. They can be going for this Infernal Dragon. So of course they have Infernal Dragon. Fairly sure they still have the Earth Dragon as well. So they're just stacking up. This is actually fairly scary. They're getting all the strong dragons.
Yep.
So it's not looking good. They can even look for a play after this.
Yep. Rift Tower was taken out previously too, so lots of strong objectives being taken by IMA. They're still tied 1-for-1 in terms of turrets after the very delayed lane swap we saw from these two teams. They picked up a nice gold advantage just from the kills they've gotten in this game alone. So IMA still looking good, still looking strong, still executing on their strategy nicely as well.
Yeah, Snake has a good few defensive visions in the red side jungle, but with that lane being pushed out entirely bot lane, IMA can just look to pretty much converge on mid.
Well, look at Jin Zhao. He's actually standing on top of a pink ward inside of Fog of War. Looks like he wants to try and throw a random arrow out, see if he catches someone in the mid lane.
Oh, no.
Voidus is nearby as well, and so is Road. So the potential for Tank to be locked down here.
I just expect a flash ulti from Malzahar, right? Because if you have the Malzahar, you don't need to go for a random arrow. So pretty much all you have to do, and actually they're just going to be looking to steal the red buff. They're just stealing every objective that comes available to them.
Timed it very nicely, coming out from IM. Jin Zhao picks that one up for himself, taking away the red buff from Sofm's jungle. He immediately heads back down towards the bottom lane. We'll be pushing that one out for his team.
Yeah, it's far too dangerous for Snake to be supporting these lanes, or at least their jungle themselves, right? Because every single time that IM pushes out their bot lane, or shoves out their mid or top, they actually have to just concede their buffs. So IM is doing really well and just pretty much taking advantage of their strength right now.
Still taking it very slow against Snake as the Voidless is ghosting up on the top side of the map here. Flandre got to be a little bit careful. We'll run into a Hecarim as well as they stand united. Alistar Road is going to headbutt, pulverize him into a taunt. Road picks up that kill, but yet again another pick for IM.
An ulting Alistar with Shen on top of him. How many tower, like, he's invulnerable at that point. It's basically just basically a kill ulti. So yeah, you pretty much, they're just abusing Flandre. He's the only strength of Snake right now. He's the only one on that team who's powerful. So they just took him down. Of course, they're going to look to trade, Snake is going to look to trade towers off that.
They do trade towers. The only big thing is that IM will pick up a kill for their troubles as well.
It's going to take them some time to actually take this tower. So actually, Snake is going to be backing from this.
So they do not decide to push through. Jin Zhao and Road do head back down towards the bottom lane and able to catch the wave collapsing onto their bottom lane inner turret.
Maybe they didn't have a large enough wave because the next wave was actually far too back. So actually, if they did have the wave, I would have favored them to pressure up to the next tower.
Meanwhile, Athena, he's gone back to base. He's picked up a Rylai's Crystal Scepter for himself. As Tank, he's finally completed his first item, being that Nash's Tooth. Still sitting on the Megatron Cloak as well as an easy large rod. Voidless taking a little bit of damage from Martin and Jay-Z, but is able to scoot out of there.
Yeah, no damage taken on him. He's sitting tightly with 7 assists, 1 kill. He's pretty large at this point. I think he's probably going to be looking to finish up his Trinity Force, I think.
He's been in 100% of his team's kills so far. And like you said, does have the Phage as well, the Cinderhawk. A couple of Hecarims do leave it at just that. They just like the Phage, stick to just that. I know a few others, looking at US with them, that decide to go for Trinity Force and then nothing else. No jungle item, nothing.
But yeah, I'm snowballing right now. Any damage is good damage. It depends on a Voidless. I think a Voidless is doing so well for himself that
this is really cheeky coming out from Snake. They're committing to this one, even throwing a teleport from Flandre towards the Baron pit of Voidless. So we'll spot them out trying to take this cheeky Baron. Amazing J's there as well. They're now going to try and start the fight 2-on-5. Flandre actually picks up the Baron for his team. The rest of IM are looking to try and collapse, but Snake, they've got 2 kills for this, and with a very cheeky Baron, have put themselves back in this game.
My God, that was honestly the only way they were going to come back from this game. It was perfect. So they just looked for the Baron take. They pinked it out. They knew there was no vision. So what's stopping them, right? Everything else in this game was looking bad. Like, Gangplank was literally the only champion who's doing fairly well, and they committed 4 people to kill him. So that was incredible. They were able to take the Baron off of that, and now they're looking to at least regain control of the map.
Apparently, the desperate Baron never fails, and it has not here for Snake, as they do pick up the big buff. As well as the 2 crucial picks they got. And you can see the damage dealt during that team fight. Tank was going off with those soldiers.
That's just poor control from IM. They had the game pretty much in their grasp. You need at least 1 ward on that Baron objective. You know that's the only way they're coming back. At that point, you just have to telegraph their strengths, right? So now they just pretty much have to stall out until Baron comes out. Or at least maybe they can pick a fight. Maybe they're still stronger.
Let's see what IM decides to do. There's about 2,000 gold behind, in front of Snake, sorry. And this one jumps over the wall, takes the Raptor for himself.
Yeah, honestly, it looks like they're just going to be trying to siege up mid. Nothing really controlled. They're just trying to regain control. So right now they're able to put in a few wards in top side on the enemy red. So they now have a lot more vision to be able to clear out these waves, regain some basically CS. Just basically all they need is farm. They just need to get up to their power spike. Because of course at the end of the day you have a Sivir. She's sitting on Phantom Dancer. She's sitting on the Essence Reaver. So with IE, like at that point it doesn't matter how far behind you are.
Let's see if Snake can get to that point of the game. For now, IM actually looking for that pick. 2 pink was set up towards the Dragon Pit, which will be back up in about 5 seconds. They do have Amazing J still split pushing on the top side of the map, whereas Flandre is actually grouped up with the rest of Snake towards the middle of the park, trying to contest for this Dragon. Scuttle was taken down for IM as well, so they've got good movement speed and good vision of that area. Amazing J still split pushing, forces a recall coming out from Flandre. He does not, actually not Flandre, goes back tank. Head back to the base, immediately moves down back towards the mid lane, so Amazing J, he's going to get some good damage on this turret.
Snake probably reckons that they're good for this fight. I think because right now at this point, the question is Snake going to contest this dragon, right? It's Earth Dragon. It's incredibly good for IMA. They already have an Earth Dragon from the first one. So they do reckon... Oh, actually, avoid this gets chunked out. Because at full HP, I actually think they can contest this. I think IMA should take it, but I don't know about it now.
Now he's at half, but there's the Enchanted Crystal as well. So massive knockup into the ultimate coming out from Hecarim to start this one off for IMA. But Snake do take the dragon and now trying to run out the pit. Martin without his flash going to get stuck between a wall. Will get taken down. So a huge pick for IMA and a big taunt flash coming out from Amazing J. Closing the gap for Athena. Sofm forced the flash over the wall to try and escape. Avoidance was looking to try and collapse as well. The Alistar is coming. The taunt is good from Amazing J. Road comes in with the headbutt onto a minion as well as the pulverize. And a very clinical teamfight execution coming out from IMA.
Road is amazing. That was incredible. I could not, at first, because Avoidless was so low. He was half HP. They really had to have an incredible engage to pretty much take that fight. And of course, Snake gives it to them. They group up. They clutter. They don't expect a cow to be coming around the mountains, right? He was coming in for a flank opportunity, and he got it. That was, I don't know if that was 4 or 5 man knockup, but that was a wombo combo if I've ever seen it.
It was a big 4-man knockout, coming out from Road, followed by the layered CC from a Voidless as well. Amazing J was doing his job, split pushing quite nicely, and Raz, take us through that replay, because that was massive from Road.
What do I have to say? That was insane. He gets the pulverize into Hecarim ulti. They pretty much have to clean up at that point. Actually, I was afraid they didn't even have the damage, right? But they just chased them. They chased them throughout. And of course, we don't see it from the replay, but Shen taunt flashes. He gets 2 people, and they just keep going. So they're able to, it doesn't matter that they lost Baron. They pretty much regained that, actually.
Exactly that. In fact, even more than what they had before the Baron was taken by Snake. They're now 6,000 gold ahead of Snake, after taking down the mid lane outer turret as well, and inner turret.
So right now, the IMA is at a 5k gold advantage. They have Randuin's Sunfire on Shen. So even though, like, the Randuins I really love, of course, because, of course, you're going up against the Sivir Ricochet at this point. She's going to be looking to build the Infinity Edge. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. I think right now Shen is far too strong. He's a massive frontline that I think Snake, I'm not too sure if they can deal with him.
He's even looking for his Spirit Visage as his next item, mitigating some of the damage that Sofm and Tank will be dealing to him in these team fights. Speaking of Tank, he does have his Rylai's Crystal Scepter picked up now, so 2 big items for the Azir. But Athena, he's looking towards his Liandry's Torment as his next item. Already has the mask ready and available.
Yeah, we haven't seen that item in some time. It's just percent HP damage, especially on Malzahar is fairly good. They're just gonna be running.
Here comes On the Hunt. They're going to try and chase down Athena, puts down the Silence as well as the Slow Field, and that's 2 major ultimates from Snake Burnt trying to chase him down that are unsuccessful.
It feels like that could have been prevented if they just tabbed and realized he had Rylai's Crystal Scepter. You don't do that if like, he's just, so he completely disengages from that, and so they don't have Sivir ulti and they don't have GP ulti, and they're just losing towers now.
On top of that, just like you said, Jinjiao was able to finish off what Amazing J started doing, that dragon play, by taking down the top lane inner turret. Now every single inner turret has fallen for IMA. They've got 6 to their name at the moment, compared to the 2 that Snake took down previously. 7,000 gold in the lead, looking to try and even increase that even further. But still, IMA playing this one safe, going back to base, picking up major item Bloodthirster coming up for Jinjiao here over the Infinity Edge, which you normally see as the 3rd item for most Ashe players.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be looking to auto at this. Like, he's just trying to, he's essentially kind of a tank, right? That's like a, like, if you give him the BT, he's going to be sustaining quite a bit off his autos. So it's nice for him. It's safe. It's exactly how that's exactly how they should be playing it. So their purchases are fairly nice now because, of course, they're going to be setting up their waves for the Baron that's coming up. it is up at the moment, so it looks like they should just be looking to control it.
Even Guardian Angel being picked up by Voidless here, so that Hecarim, he's already tough to deal with the Trinity Force and the Cinderhawk being picked up. Now lots of resistances, and also comes back to life once you think you're done with dealing with it.
So once upon a time, they were snowballing. I think it was like 8-1. So the Trinity Force is amazing. Of course, they were, like, IM is able to pull it back from Snake taking the game off the Baron. So now...
To be fair, it's still 10-3.
That's true. Not much has changed. Just the neutral objectives, pretty much. But yeah, Snake has to watch out. Because, of course, look at Amazing J. He's just going to be pretty much split pushing to Oblivion. They have to send someone to him. And, of course, by the time he gets to that inner tower, I expect him to already be controlling Baron.
Jinjiao is now up in the top side of the map with his Bloodthirster, trying to push out that wave, being very cautious in doing so. Tank and Jay-Z trying to deal with a mid lane push coming out from Snake. Even Martin moving in towards this lane. Like he said, Amazing J is still split pushing at the bottom side of the map for IM. Now, seems like IM are looking to try and regain some vision control over towards the Baron buff. Wards are being cleared out. They still have the Scuttle Crab to deal with, which will time out shortly as Snake were able to sneak in that objective when IM went back to base.
Yeah, this is really tough for Snake. They need to find a way to get some vision on them. They still have 2 blue trinkets. One is coming right back off cooldown. So IM is going to be looking to go back. They're going to be able to at least have a little bit of time of just placing those blue trinkets. But actually, they're just going to start it off.
And they were sponsored doing this because there was one ward they did not sweep out, as well as the Scuttle Crab that was still left standing. The Void Lanes coming out from Athena going to get some good work down on towards this Baron. The Voidless didn't tank up too much damage, but it's down to 3,000 health. Sandy Knight is coming out for Road, who gets another massive Pulverize, followed by the crowd control coming out from a Voidless. In the back lines, Athena and Jinjiao are just wrecking through the front line. As Amazing J's the one to pick up the first 2 kills in the fight. Somewhere else on the map, a Voidless is taking down Tank. He's now hunting for Sofm, trying to body bop him with the barrel as well. But that's already 4 members for Snake dead, and IM are pushing for the base.
I just don't know what to say. Like, Road is turning up on Alistair of all champions, right? He's been playing so well. Like, what's happening?
Sofm just got smited by a Voidless to stop him from going back to base. And with that play, I may pick up the inhibitor and the inhibitor turret.
But yeah, I mean, as I was saying before, pretty much, we were asking ourselves, what is Road going to play, right? You ban out his Bard, like, you realize, like, okay, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna give your team fights if we take away your Bard? And you're like, well, I guess Alistair is a champion that can do the exact same thing. So it looks like they're just gonna go right back on Baron. I look at Road. He's looking for the fight. He's positioning properly to actually, they're not even gonna get a fight.
They do get Sofm though. They lock him down with the Malzahar as well as the enchanted Crystal Arrow. Athena picks up that kill in the fight. So not only do they get the delayed ace, they also get the Baron and an inhibitor.
Yeah, I don't know what Sofm was doing there, right? If they're gonna contest that, then you contested it. If you're gonna try and steal it, then you look to steal it. He was just there sitting there, just trying to gift the kill away.
You want to do both. You can't have your cake and eat it, apparently.
Yeah.
It's now IM. They've snowballed into 11,000 gold. The Amazing J has been caught out by Martin and Jay-Z, though. Simply flashes over the wall to get back to safety.
Yeah, he could probably have just stood in place for about 5 seconds for his taunt, and he still would have been fine, right? Because he's too tanky. Like, look at him. He's actually just not going to move.
And IM being very clinical still, looking to try and control the rest of the map. They take down the Ocean Dragon as well, so 3 Elemental Dragons for IM. Elder Dragon will be back up and it will be up, in 6 minutes if IM look forward to that objective. But with the Baron buff and with this massive gold lead, I think we'll see them be a little bit more aggressive and push towards the base once again.
Yeah, so, well, Shen has 2 Randuin's Omens. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Does he realize that that's what he's just done to himself?
Okay, he's got 2 Randuin's Omens, Raz.
Well, I mean, I guess he could buy a Rabadon's and it wouldn't make a difference because they're just that far ahead. So I don't even mind. I ain't even mad. So actually, it looks like Snake is trying to get a pick. No.
Red getting jumped on. Fun fact, the actives don't stack, but the passive for Randuin's does.
Oh,
nice.
The passive does? Okay.
20%.
Feels like that's something I should have known. But yeah, they're just going to be pushing up this wave. They can do this forever until Shen actually stacks up his pressure topside. So this feels like, of course they have Baron. They're just making making the usual waves here. They're just trying to get this tower. There's nothing really Snake can do, so I guess they're just going for a Hail Mary.
Well, there's the Gangplank ultimate coming out. Sofm was looking to try and engage, but nice moves coming out from IMA's backline, just backing away from the ultimate range of Gragas to make sure they can't get knocked back in towards the team. Meanwhile, Amazing J with the Baron buff is just still split pushing on the top side of the map, putting some work down towards the top lane inhibitor turret. The rest of the Snake lineup are forced to actually deal with minions crashing in towards the mid lane, while Voiler's trying to push that one in. Top lane inhibitor will fall. Amazing J is able to split push and take that down. He's now looking to try and take the inhibitor as well, as the rest of Snake, they're left to defend IMA. And the bottom side of that, they're just getting run around all across their base.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go for a Hail Mary fight, then you just go for it. I think what they were trying to do is just try and push them off. I'm not too sure. It felt like they were very indecisive on what they wanted to use their ultis for on the bot side. So now that they don't have anything, they're actually just losing everything.
Yep, they've lost their base. 2 inhibitors have fallen down. Amazing J is still pushing, looking to try and take down a Nexus turret. Jin Jiao's been able to get some work on towards the bottom lane inhibitor. The rest of IMA now crash towards it. The final inhibitor turret does fall. Only 1 inhibitor left standing before double super minions spawn into each and every single lane, and Jin Jiao takes it down. Amazing J still split pushing. No trigger being pulled from Snake just yet. Flandre pops his Ghost Blade, actually looking to try and fight the Shen. He meets up with a Voiler, so he puts a lot of damage back down towards the gameplay. IMA just waiting for their minions, it seems.
Yeah, they can do anything they want. They have a Shen who has 2 Randuin's Omens and an Alistar who's just a god.
Well, there goes Ro. The gameplay ultimate does come back off a cooldown. Ro pops his ultimate. Flandre has to need an orange carry for now as Amazing J actually gets knocked back in towards the team. He's going to get taken down. The double Randu is not going to be that effective to stop that one from happening. Snake still looking to try and push for this fight as the Azir sends the soldiers in the backlines. That's where it's been locked. Road with another big pulverize in this match. Athena gets a double kill off for his Martin now, taking down the Malefic Visions and the Ignite. It's going to be enough to get the triple kill for Athena as Iman now looking to push for the win.
Yeah, they don't have any minions. Here comes the minions. That was insane. Athena's doing a lot for his team. I don't even think he's died once. He's actually just been playing incredibly. But it's very hard to tell because, of course, Malzahar is just... He's not really much of a playmaking champion, but he's making it look like it.
He certainly has, as IMA push down the final Nexus turret. They work on the Nexus, and despite a couple of hiccups, are able to close out the game rather strong against Snake.
And yeah, that was pretty clean. I mean, the only hiccup, honestly, was just the Baron, right? They didn't have the proper vision for the Baron.
That's it.
They got it stolen away from them. But other than that, that was clean. That was extremely clean.
I don't even think they got any kills from the time they took that Baron. No, they didn't. They got 2 picks of Baron. They had 3 kills in total after that. And any time anyone else from IMA died was Amazing J got knocked back into 2 Nexus turrets.